G'day, it's Glenn VK4NGA. Welcome to the shack. Well, in this video I want to talk about and show you AllStar. I got interested in AllStar a little while ago. I decided that I wanted to venture into another variety of the digital modes, and this one was definitely different to everything else. So I was pretty keen to have a look at it. A few friends are using AllStar, so I thought, yeah, why not, let's have a go. So first of all, this is the node I built. So it's called a SHARI Pi hat, and it's got a V on it. I don't know if you can see that. You should be able to see that. V for VHF. This one's on 2 meters, 145.350. So the reason I chose, you can buy, this is a kit. So as you see it, that's how it comes, but disassembled obviously runs on a Raspberry Pi 4B, and then it's got the Pi hat on top, which is the radio module. Very similar in a lot of characteristics to a hotspot, where it's you know, if you have a look at a hotspot, it's got the it's a modem board off a hotspot, so it's got the it's got a hat on it with a radio board on it. But this is where AllStar is different to all the other proprietary digital modes. And the thing that I had trouble finding out was, how does it work, and what kind of radios do you need to link into it? First of all, there's two things that I need to explain. One is it works on FM. Okay, so this radio here, this Anytone, that's listening to the node at the moment, but I could use, that's on 145.350, I could use the FT2D or the ID51 behind it. So pretty much you'd have a radio on the shack for sure that'll run on AllStar, because it's FM, and you either have a VHF or a UHF node, so 2 meters or 70 centimeters. The other thing is, how do you switch between, how do you link to different AllStar nodes and networks? Well, it's all done by DTMF codes. So of course, you know, you can just key it up on your radio, just PTT, which I'll do a demonstration in a little while, PTT, and just key in your DTMF tones, let the PTT go, and it commands the node. So the node can be completely commanded via the radio, via DTMF tones. So that's pretty cool. So you've probably already got a radio, so if you build yourself an AllStar node, you don't have to buy a radio, which I think is great. Does it replace my DMR radio? No, because it doesn't go everywhere DMR goes. Does it replace my Fusion radio? Well, no, it doesn't, because it doesn't link up to every Fusion room. Does it replace my D-Star radio? No, you can't get into the REF reflectors on AllStar. Does it link up to P25? There is some links, but they're kind of blended in with other stuff, so no, it doesn't replace any of those modes. To me, I see it as an addition to the shack. It's just another way to get into different systems and to link up to repeater networks that you might normally have not been able to link up to before, depending on what kind of hardware you've got at home, whether you've got several hotspots and different radios and all that kind of stuff. So what can you hook up to? Well, I'm really new to this, so I've got my L plates on big time. I'm certainly in the learning mode, in the learning phase, but I mean, one that comes to mind, I've been on it through Fusion, is the UK HubNet. It's massive, it's busy. You'll always get someone to talk to on the HubNet. The HubNet is, if you Google HubNet UK, you'll find out what I'm talking about. They have a great web page and it shows you how you can link. You know, if you've got a hotspot in different radios, whether it be Fusion or D-Star or whatever, you can probably get yourself into the HubNet UK. But it is an AllStar network. So when you link in via AllStar, you link into the back end of it and you're directly into the system, whereas if you go in through, say you could link through DMR or Fusion or D-Star, you're going to go through some sort of transcoding and a reflector, and so it's kind of a different way, not necessarily a better or a worse way, just another way to get into it. So HubNet's big. Northwest AllStar group, I just found out about that today, so I've linked to that, but I didn't put out a call yet. Thought I'd record a video instead. So that's the node. It's sitting on 100 milliwatts. It'll crank up to 400 milliwatts. Runs on a Pi 4B, as I said, with the SHARI hat. If you search SHARI Pi hat, you'll find the kit. Comes from the USA. And the system, I might tell you that it's built by hams for hams, so it's not proprietary in any way. AllStar is based on Asterisk PBX, which is a Linux platform, and completely written by ham radio operators. Been around for a long time, not sure how long, but a long time. But it's very popular now, that's for sure. And being able to buy this kit and build it was both pleasure and pain. It's to buy the kit completely disassembled and to build it. It's a lot of soldering. It's small soldering, which didn't bother me because I do a lot of soldering. As people that know me would know that I build hotspots, and so I do a lot of soldering. So I'm okay with the soldering part, but there was a lot of solder joints. So a lot of soldering and some different kind of soldering too. The soldering the radio chip onto the board was different. I had to watch a video on how to do that. But nonetheless, you can buy the kit in various forms. You can buy it built up, or you can buy it completely disassembled. So that's one thing. They also, if you look on their website, they also do different versions of these as well, where they're a bit more plug and play. So maybe that might be appealing to you. This is not the only node you can buy. There's the G7RPG micro node. A few Aussies have got that. Had a look at a couple of videos on that. Looks pretty good. There's the Clear node out of the US, but I'm not sure if they ship to Australia. I think they do now. It's a nice looking thing, very similar in its architecture to the one you're looking at now, but in a nice fancy case. So, and it's different, but it's a very good unit. So there's different things, different ways you can get into AllStar. So let's have a look at, okay, so you can DTMF on the radio, so we'll just do a quick demonstration on that. So I just got to look up my DTMF command list because I don't remember it all. So if I just do turn those other radios down. I always do that when I'm running videos. Okay, so that was just telling my node to disconnect from the last node I was connected to, and every, I think, 5 minutes it comes up with the ident, CW ident, which is my call sign and my node number, I suppose. I don't know, I've never really bothered to try and decode it, not that I know CW anymore. So DTMF works great, but when you build the node, you can activate this. I'll just move this tripod around. You can activate the Supermon AllStar Manager, which comes up. You just use the IP address of the node to get into it. So there's the IP address of the node there. I've blanked out my other IP address, which is my external IP address, because I don't want to show that to the public. I won't explain why, but nonetheless, it doesn't need to be seen. So it shows here that my node is idle, no connections. So that's good. You can. This is a touchscreen 8-inch tablet. You can put this onto the computer or whatever you want to use. Any web browser will pick it up. So you can type into the node here and connect or disconnect, which is really cool. But there's even a better way to get into the node and operate it. So let's have a look at the better way. This is really cool. Thanks to Simon VK3XEM for putting me onto this. This is Node Remote. It's an app. You can get it on, we see it all there, yeah. You can get it on iOS and also Android, this is the Android flavor you're looking at. So as you can see, we've got some buttons set up here. So if I want to get into Freestar, so it's not connected to anything at the moment. If I want to get into Freestar,
Node 2195 connected to Node 54745.
so that just announced that I'm connected to 2195. The last number was my node number, 54745. So if I want to disconnect from that, I'll just disconnect. I'll bring the radio a bit closer. So if I want to go into the hubnet, okay, there's always traffic on the hubnet.
522 connected to Node 54745.
November Echo Uniform. This is Mike Whiskey 7 Romeo Lima Tango. Good morning to you in Cape Town. This is Dennis Powis. The QTH is Dennis Powis, 5 miles west of Cardiff, capital city of Wales. Back to you.
So how's the audio? It's great, isn't it?
Yes, Mike Whiskey 7 Romeo Lima Tango from Zulu Sierra 1 November Echo Uniform.
Now that's not the preferred radio in my shack for AllStar. This is trusty old 991A. I love it. So
Very good, thank you there, and a good copy on your side. And I wonder if you can maybe tell me more about your weather. Our weather this side, it's rainy and windy. I'm right next to the coast of Muscle Bay. Mike Whiskey 7 Romeo Lima Tango from Zulu Sierra 1 November Echo Uniform.
So I'll just turn that down and explain something. Because it's FM, you don't get information on the screen like you do if I was on, say I was on C4FM or WiseX. You don't get information to the screen because it's an FM radio. So basically, it's a bit more traditional. You got to write call signs and names down. But yeah, I think it's just a great system. It really is. What else can I tell you about it? So yes, with the DTMF commands, that's good if you don't have the app or you haven't got Supermon running. But really, the Node Remote app, which you got to buy, I think it cost me $8. So you purchase it. It's terrific. I do have the app on my tablet, but the problem is, and I've emailed the app developer, it only runs in portrait mode. So you can see there, it doesn't really work well with the tablet. So I've asked him whether I can switch it to landscape. I haven't figured out how to, so I've emailed him. Hopefully he responds to me. But yeah, there's lots of the node list is massive on AllStar Link. I'll give you the web address. So it's allstarlink.org, and you can read all about AllStar. You can sign up for a node number. You've got to sign up for a node number, which is easy. They make it very easy to do. And as I said, it's built by hams for hams, so it's totally ham radio orientated system. and it's voice over IP, just like everything else is in the digital voice realm when you're linking into the different systems and gateways. But the beauty about this is the quality of the audio on an FM radio, so you don't have to buy a digital radio. So you've probably got a radio in a shack. You know, I mean, my little RT3S here, this little fella here, works great on that, and that's like, you know, $150 radio. So yeah, you can get into AllStar pretty cheap. So let's just have another listen.
In Meisner, but more recently my frequent visits have been as far east as Hermanus, but largely based actually in the suburbs of Cape Town, which I know very well indeed.
So we'll just go back to Node Remote, and I'll just... Now, if I was just using DTMF tones, I'd have to wait for a break in the QSO for my node to stop transmitting before I can disconnect. But with the app or the Supermon via the computer or the tablet, you can disconnect on the fly. So it's disconnected straight away. So on this at the moment I've got a HubNet Freestar VK3 RBA hub. There's a lot of link repeaters in VK3 that are all AllStar linked. They're all FM repeaters. Maybe not all FM repeaters. Haven't really looked really closely at VK3 RBA hub, but you can search that, have a look at that. That's a pretty good network. They have some nets on there as well, run by the guys down there in VK3. Northwest AllStar Group in the UK, East Coast Reflector. Let's have a listen to that one in a second. Hawaiian, Alaska Net, and then you can go on to UK Parrot, Social Hub, Starlink. There's a VK6 hub as well, which gets a bit of activity as well. So that's not all the hubs and the nodes. That's just some of the networks. Like I said, I'm learning, so there's a lot to know. Let's dial up East Coast. It's about the right time. It's evening here. It's about the right time for a bit of activity in the US, I think. 10 to 8 here on a Saturday evening. They have a morning net that goes for hours. It's just a round table, so no activity on there at the moment. So there you go. That's a quick demonstration of the system and how it works. But basically, yeah, I think if you're interested, then do a bit of research on the node. I chose 2 meters because one, this is running 100 milliwatts, so of course it's right beside all my other hotspots and bits and pieces. So I didn't want 100 milliwatts on 70 centimeters. That would obliterate anything in the shack pretty much. And then yeah, I just think that yeah, having a node sitting on AllStar is a great addition to the shack. I really do. I think it's fantastic. I'm thinking about, I've got some Motorola radios which I bought for another project, but I'm thinking about maybe building an AllStar external node, run an external antenna and maybe 10 watts through a Motorola. So I've got a GM339 here that I could hook that up to. There's a bit of hardware to buy, but that stuff's available, and yeah, so who knows, I mean, you could build yourself a proper node which is available to other amateurs as well as yourself to use, so that's another option too. So do a bit of research on AllStar and make your decision whether you want to step into it or not, but it's a lot of fun, and I've had some really good QSOs on the HubNet and also on the East Coast Reflector as well. If you search on Google East Coast Reflector, If you type in AllStar East Coast Reflector, you'll see their website as well. It's pretty good, and they have a dashboard which shows live traffic on there. All right, so hopefully that's given you a bit of a demonstration of AllStar, and listen to the audio quality. And now you know a little bit more about AllStar, which is great. I think it's a great mode. Well, thanks for watching. 73 is all the best. This is VK4NGA.